Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Lydia here. So today is going to be something a little bit different. So I'm going to be showing you some videos that I took when I went to a bar that's opened up in Bristol. It's called Four Quarters. It's a really awesome arcade bar. And you can play on consoles, you can play on retro arcade games. They also have some really awesome cocktails and beers too. So I'm just going to show you a few clips that I took on the night out and explain a little bit about what they do. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. So it may not surprise you that the very first thing we did was look at what they had to drink. So they have loads of selection of cocktails that are all gaming themed. They're all really nice cocktails, lots of different varieties there, and they've also got some really great beers on tap as well that are craft beer as well as a few mainstream ones. They of course have other drinks like spirits and wines, but yeah, mostly cocktails and beers, which is awesome. And of course we went straight for the beers because that's what we like most. The bar itself has a really nice feel to it. As you can see, there's lots of art on the walls, lots of different art styles there, which adds a really nice atmosphere to the bar. I also feel like the music there is really atmospheric. It feels like a proper bar. And also you've got the arcade machines there, which are the main feature of the bar. A lot of the tables also have games on them too, which is really cool. A lot of the arcade games are actually free to play. You just ask for a token and you can have unlimited play. As you can see here, we're playing a bit of Tetris, which is obviously a classic. Now this is two-player mode, but I'm not very good at it, as you may have noticed. I've never really been very good at Tetris, no idea why. I think it just stresses me out. Also, if you're wondering where all the arcade sounds are, well, unfortunately I had to cut out the audio for this video because I didn't want to get copyright because there was lots of pop music in the background, so you'll have to just put up with my voice. As you can see, each arcade machine also had little tables on the side, so you could actually purchase your drinks there, which I thought was a really nice touch. Some places don't allow you to take your drinks with you and you have to sit at the tables, but this one you could actually take your drinks with you, which was nice because table space was a little bit limited. There were loads of different arcade machines that were also two-player, which was great. Lots of fighting games and yeah, just so many great games. Racing, fighting, whatever you like, there was something there for you to play. And now we get to one of my favourite games, Super Hang-On. Now I love this on the Mega Drive and it's a real treat being able to play this in its arcade format, which is, to be honest, probably the superior way of playing it because you basically have the controls of the bike with the handles and you get to twist it to accelerate, and you've also got the squeezy things, I don't know what you call them, but to brake. It's just really awesome and definitely the best way to play them. It's definitely not the same going back to playing with the controller after this. Now this right here was my absolute highlight of the entire evening. I have never ever played Crazy Taxi in the arcade form, and to be honest I don't think I even knew it existed, and oh my god, it's just the best thing ever. Now, I love Crazy Taxi, it's a great game, it's bonkers, it's fun, it's got that arcade element to it, but playing it with the actual pedal and the steering wheel just took it to a whole new level, and I enjoyed it so much. It was so responsive, and yeah, it just really was amazing and definitely one of the best ways to experience the game. So if you're ever around and you see Crazy Taxi, definitely give it a go. It definitely looks so much better in this format than it does on the PlayStation 2, or at least it does in my opinion. I still need to pick this up for the Dreamcast because I'm really curious to just compare it and see what it looks like. Apparently there's the number 2, which I think is exclusive to the Dreamcast, so hopefully I'll pick that up at some point in the future as well. In addition to arcade machines, you also have an area that has lots of different consoles, so you could play on the SNES, Mega Drive and much more, and they were all free, and you could also play 2 to 4 player on those as well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what a classic game. It's such a good fighter. If you've never played it before, definitely give it a go. It's really a lot of fun. As you can see, Ant was having a whale of a time with it. Obviously a trip to the arcade would never be complete without playing Space Invaders. Now this one's a silver anniversary edition, so I believe it's a more modern one, which I think is pretty obvious from just how wonderfully vivid all the colours are, which I really love. It's obviously a very simple game, very simple gameplay, but that's kind of one of the joys of it, I think, and I really enjoy Space Invaders. I think it's one of my favourite classic arcade games. No prizes for guessing what game we're playing next. It's Miss Pac-Man. Now, this is pretty much identical to Pac-Man. I don't really notice any kind of difference in gameplay to the normal Pac-Man. Correct me if I'm wrong, there probably is a difference, but I really can't see it. But regardless, Pac-Man is always fun. Obviously, it's a classic and it's a really simple gameplay, and it never fails to stress me out. There definitely is something very special about the Pac-Man sound effects. They're so iconic, but that doesn't stop me from losing. Some more great games such as Final Fighter, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's super fun. I do love these kinds of games. It really reminds me of Streets of Rage. I don't think it's quite as good as Streets of Rage, but you know, feel free to disagree. I think it's still a great game regardless, and definitely a classic. There was also a Neo Geo one there too, so it had multiple games on it that were on the Neo Geo, which I thought was really cool. Obviously the Neo Geo is quite hard to get hold of, so it was really awesome to be able to play them all in one place. And they also had a scoreboard too, so you could look at the scoreboard and compare how well you were doing. As you can see, there's quite a good variety of games as well. Ant's a football fan, so he really enjoyed playing the football game, which I believe was Super Sidekicks. The bubble game was called Puzzle Bubble as well, and it was really cute. I really enjoyed this one, as it's just a very simple mechanic. That very simple idea of matching all the colours and popping them, very similar to Tetris in its concept really, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's very vivid and yeah, very cute too. I will mention by this point we had quite a few drinks and some very strong beers, and then we went straight for cocktails. Now this one was really cool. I believe it was called the Rainbow Road. It was a really delicious cocktail. Definitely recommend having that one if you go to this bar. As you can see, we're now playing on the NES, playing a good old Mario Kart. Now I really suck at the old Mario Karts, but they are a lot of fun. Next up we played Operation Thunderbolt with the 2-player mode. This game I've played quite a few times. It seems to be really popular in different arcades. I don't know if that's because it was really common and so it's a bit cheaper for them to buy, but yeah, it's a really fun shooter. I really enjoy it. I quite enjoy the fact that the guns are actually attached to the arcade cabinet. For me, I find it much easier to aim. I find sometimes light guns really difficult to aim and shoot with. I have terrible aim, so it definitely helps out a bit more with that. I do think this game is pretty detailed. I really like all the different enemies that come at you. It just has the feeling of everything being really chaotic and mental. You definitely feel like you're battling your way through some crazy things, and yeah, I really enjoy sort of the visuals of it as well. This game I'd never seen before. This is called 18 Wheeler. It's basically a kind of driving simulator and racing game. It didn't play loads of it, so I didn't really get to have too much of a feel for what the game was really about, but basically you're driving a truck around and doing different missions. Now, I thought the actual arcade cabinet was really cool. You've obviously got the steering wheel, and you've got the gear stick, and you've got the pedals, and I love anything like that. There was also quite a lot of feedback on the actual steering as well, which I felt really helped make it feel like an actual truck. Obviously it's a slightly more modern game, so the 3D graphics are pretty impressive. We enjoy playing this one lots, and it's definitely one of the more unique games that were here. I've not really seen any truck racers around in arcade games, so it's a lot of fun to play, and as you can see it can get a bit mental, and I really like the idea of racing around in a truck. Obviously, no trip to the arcade would be complete without playing the absolute classic, that is Time Crisis 2. This is obviously a light gun game, and it's a kind of cover shooter. It's really great. You have a certain amount of time to get through all the different levels and basically shoot your way through them. As you can see, both of the different cabinets have different colours. Sometimes I find with 2-player shooters it's really easy to get confused about which person you're playing as, so that's definitely a bonus having your own screen instead of having to share it. I was doing absolutely terribly on this game though. I don't know if I was just really tired, but like I said, I have terrible aim as well, and yeah, I just did so badly and I ended up dying, so I just kind of left Ant to it, and he actually got quite far. I believe he's actually completed this game on the PlayStation as well, so that's probably why he's far better at it than I am. Now, this was actually the last game that we played, so the video is coming to an end, sadly. We really enjoyed our time at the arcade and we will definitely be going back another time. The drinks are not only great, but the arcade games are also really great too. It's a really great atmosphere. The staff were great too and recommended lots and were very helpful, so definitely give it a try if you're in the Bristol area. I can't recommend it enough. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the video and what was your highlights of the video too. I always love hearing what you think. If you want to keep up to date with what's happening, you can also find me on other social media platforms, and I will leave all the links down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Also, don't forget to stay to the end of the video if you want to see a bonus adventure time.
Oh my fucking god. There's your bit of bread.